Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we are tracking storms across Iowa right now. We've also got storms in Minnesota this afternoon and evening, and we've got Hurricane Erin, officially a hurricane, and we'll talk about the track that we're expecting in the next few minutes. But before we get into that, are you guys headed to Win the Storm? We are very excited to be at Win the Storm, not only as a booth, a vendor there, but we've also got some sponsored events, so make sure that you head to Win the Storm and take a look at those events. If you have not gotten your tickets yet, you need to, because that event happening in less than a week, August 20th through the 22nd. And Hailtrace is the code to use. All capital letters, all one word, Hailtrace, whenever you buy your Win the Storm ticket. All right, let's talk about your big headlines today. Hail, wind, and flooding, oh my. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Yes, all up in Minnesota. We're expecting just shower after shower after shower, storm after storm, expected to bring lots of rain to the area, and that's going to increase the flash flooding risk as we head into the weekend. The first hurricane of 2025 has officially been named. Erin is likely to not only rapidly intensify from a Category 1 hurricane today, but a Category 4 hurricane by Sunday, but it's also tracking a little bit closer to the U.S. Now, what is its track? Should we be keeping our eye on it here in the U.S.? We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. And tropical storm in Texas? No. It is not a tropical storm right now. However, will you get weather from the tropics into Texas this weekend? Yes, you will. So we've got heavy rain on tap for Texas from a disturbance that's down in the Gulf. We've got a lot to talk about. That was a lot. We go from Minnesota to Texas all the way out into the Atlantic. We've got a lot to talk about. So what did we see over the last 24 hours? We got a little bit of rain. We've got some high winds out there as well. High winds all the way from the East Coast out to the West. Got a lot of high wind reports here. We had a little bit of hail yesterday as well, but really it was a wind event yesterday. I'm thinking that we'll probably get more hail from this event that we're going to see today. And we actually have a severe thunderstorm warning going on right now. Now, I pulled up my radars earlier. We're not seeing that populate quite yet. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning right now. If you've ever watched our live coverage for weather, you know that these hatched lines right here, do you see those black lines that go across the severe thunderstorm warning? This signifies that this is an intense storm, not just your garden variety summertime thunderstorm. No, we have seen enough evidence to say that this is an intense storm capable of doing some damage. What we're seeing here is up to golf ball size hail coming into Sac City right here. Let me go to the full severe thunderstorm warning so that you can see that, clear that box off of there. Okay, so Sioux Rapids into Storm Lake is where we have that severe thunderstorm warning for right now. However, the National Weather Service has wanted to extend this, especially for this core that's going over Storm Lake right now, because it's so strong. It's going to produce some large hail, golf ball size hail in this area as it continues to track to the southeast. That's why we have a brand new warning that doesn't look like it has a storm in it yet. However, will over the next few minutes. And again, that severe thunderstorm warning goes until 12:45. We've got another 20 minutes on this warning right here. Brand new information. The National Weather Service has now brought this down from golf ball size hail to ping pong ball size hail. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. I don't want to spend too much time on this storm right here. About 13,000 people impacted by this. Now, this is included in the risk for storms today. We've got a slight risk highlighted there in yellow. It's a level 2 on a scale of 5. We've also got Minneapolis included in that hail risk today, and then all the way back into South Dakota. So we'll talk about each hazard, that flood, hail, wind, and tornado hazard today. We'll talk about your timeline, and then we'll go into tomorrow, and we'll talk about Erin, and we'll talk about the tropics that could come into Texas as well. Saturday, level 1 risk, including Minneapolis, Rapid City, Green Bay. Sunday, another round of storms in the exact same area. So it's just round after round after round of storms here. And all thanks to a cold front that's almost stationary right now, moving extremely slowly, if even at all, that's going just to the north of Minneapolis, all the way through the central portion of South Dakota. This very stationary front is not only going to help produce more storms later on today, but it's also going to keep those storms around from today to tomorrow to Sunday. And that's going to be our really biggest conversation this weekend. Let's go out to the east. Pretty quiet out there right now. No weather worries. Got a little bit of a flood risk out in the southeast, but not as bad as what we saw yesterday. There's your severe thunderstorm warning, producing ping pong to golf ball size hail in Iowa. And then we've got more storms on the radar for tonight. It's hot out there right now. 92 in Oklahoma City, 91 in Dallas, 90 in Kansas City, 91 in Houston. We talked about this yesterday. It's warm out there, and all of these warm temperatures brought to you by a high pressure system sitting across the southeast, really like Arkansas, Tennessee right now. This high pressure system is going to help to push Erin off to the east. So thankfully, Erin has an extremely low chance of making landfall in the U.S. thanks to this high pressure system. But you know how we pay for it? We don't get a hurricane, but we pay for it with that heat. 92 degrees in Oklahoma City, 90 in Kansas City, 91 in Atlanta. It's hot out there. Let's move on to that hail risk today. Rapid City to Omaha to Minneapolis. Pretty impressive, not too bad. Okay, let's zoom in. If you have never seen this map before, what you're watching for is you're watching for those darker orange colors and maybe even some red colors to signify the largest hailstones. So again, where do we have a chance for large hail today? Well, I think that this map is doing a pretty good job because we've got ping pong to golf ball size hail out in northwestern Iowa right now. Minneapolis, ping pong, golf ball, I think that's possible later on today. Northern Nebraska, and then the central to eastern side of South Dakota will have the largest hailstones today. Here's your official Hailtrace forecast. We're expecting up to 2-inch size hailstones today. So I don't think we'll get tennis balls. Maybe we could get tennis balls. It's going to be a low chance. I would say 2-inch, maybe a little bit larger than that. Where? Minneapolis to Sioux Falls. That's going to be the best chance for large hail today. We're already getting some of that large hail down to the south right now in the northwestern portion of Iowa. It's pretty low chance. It's going to be pretty isolated, very similar to what you see right now. You may have one storm on the board that is verifying what we're telling you is going to happen. It's a low chance, right? We've got a level 1 in Pierre. We've got a level 1 in Valentine as well. Pretty isolated severe storms this evening, but if we could get just the perfect storm, I think that we could easily get up to 2-inch size hailstones today. Your wind risk, we expand that a little bit farther to the east, going into places like Green Bay and just backing up to Chicago right there. Some high wind is pretty likely from Fort Dodge all the way to Des Moines, and then all the way up to Minneapolis as well, especially some of these southern storms as they keep going through the overnight hours. We're going to get some strong wind speeds. Colin, you're asking a great question right now. Storm Lake. Yeah, we were talking about Storm Lake earlier. Let me go back to my maps. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning up there. Ooh, we do have a hail report. Is it technically Storm Lake or is it just outside of Storm Lake? Ping pong ball size hail, not as large as golf ball size hail in Holston. So just outside of Storm Lake down to the south and west. Holston, which is in Ida County. I hope I'm saying that correctly. About 15 minutes ago, we got a report of ping pong ball size hail. Great question, Colin. And just so you know, that storm that created that ping pong ball size hail is continuing to move to the southeast into places like Sac City, Fonda, Pocahontas, and Rockwell City, and it is warned right now for golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds, and that goes until 1 o'clock, so we've got another half hour on this severe thunderstorm warning. One more look at the radar, and then we'll continue back into the forecast. There you go. So it's this storm right here, which is moving a little bit slower than I would have expected it to. It looks a little bit more intimidating. I would have expected it to move a little bit faster there. Alrighty, let's go back to the forecast and we'll take a look at Storm Lake in just a few minutes. We'll kind of go back and forth from live coverage to forecast right now. Fort Dodge, yeah, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning going through your area, just a little to the west of you right now. You have a level 1 tornado risk today. That risk goes all the way up into places like Rochester and Minneapolis as well. Everywhere that you see highlighted in green, that's where you have the tornado risk for today. Not only for storms this afternoon and evening, but also overnight tonight and storms that are happening right now. You're going to see several rounds of storms today. It's not just one round of storms. It's all thanks to this boundary that's sitting right to the north of Minneapolis right now and going all the way through South Dakota. This very stationary boundary is going to just put off round of storms after round of storms after round of storms. It's going to be pretty active over the weekend. Now, here's your storms that you've got right now just to the north and west of Fort Dodge. You're going to see more storms as we head into the overnight hours. Getting ahead of myself a little bit. You're going to see more storms as we head into the late afternoon hours into the evening. So we're saying about 4 to 10 o'clock here. You can see that those storms just to the south of Minneapolis are going up pretty fast. It's going to be very, very few storms on the radar to holy moly, where did that come from? One thing that I've noticed from looking at models today, weather models are telling us that they're not quite sure where storms are going to initiate. Some weather models have storms a little bit farther to the west, some a little bit farther to the south. I think it all depends on where this boundary sets up. So that boundary is moving right now. Where does it stop? If it stops to the north of Minneapolis, you have a really good chance to get that large hail today. If it stops to the south, you're probably out of that risk. So this is your first round of storms. Let's go to your second round of storms late tonight and into the overnight hours. This is really going to be your rainmaker. Pretty low chance for large hail in these storms. Some high wind, rain, absolutely. This will continue through the overnight hours tonight and into early tomorrow morning. It's a messy, messy setup, so let's break this down for you. We just gave you a lot of information for Minneapolis. Minneapolis, you have a level 2, a slight risk for storms today. The biggest risks that you're going to face are going to be those high winds and flooding risks, not just this afternoon and evening, but also into the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. 2 rounds of storms right there. Large hail. While it's going to be pretty isolated, I think that you could get some large hailstones up to 2 inches in size, mainly the Minneapolis area and places to the southwest. Your tornado risk, very, very isolated, but it's still on the board, so we have to talk about it. I'm going to skip over that graphic. If you really want to see it, we can go back to it. Okay, I think we have brand new information here. Do we have a severe thunderstorm watch? Is that what the National Weather Service has put on the board? No, it's just those warnings. Okay, so it's just those warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings still for golf ball size hail. Nothing has changed from what we saw earlier. So that's what you see right there. Flooding. Okay, let's move into flooding. We have a level 2 risk for flooding today. What does that mean? Scattered flash flooding is possible. All of that just centered right around Minneapolis and places to the southeast. Again, not only for storms that are coming through around dinner time, but also storms overnight tonight. As you wake up tomorrow morning, you could probably wake up to that lightning, thunder, and maybe some ponding on the roadways. We not only have a flood risk for today, but also tomorrow and on Sunday. We have another chance for storms again, bringing rain to this area. So you can see who's going to get the most rain over the next 72 hours. Minneapolis and places to the southeast. You've got a little red area right there. I think 3 to 5 inches, maybe underdoing it just a little bit. You could see even more rain in very isolated areas. We've also got, just kind of highlighting some other places here, we've also got rain down in Houston and southern Texas. That's because of that storm that's moving up right along the Texas-Mexico border right now. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. And we're going to see continuing showers and storms across the East Coast as well. There's your breakdown, day by day. Tonight, we've got a sneaky round of storms overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. That's bringing rain to Minneapolis once again. We've got a lot of rain coming on Sunday as well. Now, I don't want you to think this entire weekend's going to be a washout. It's not going to rain the entire time. It's going to rain for a little bit, and then we're going to have a break. You can get outside, enjoy your afternoon. Then we're going to have another round of storms come through, and then we're going to have a break. Get outside again, okay? It's not going to be an entire washout, but you need multiple ways to get your weather alerts because of those flash flood warnings that you'll probably see at some point this weekend. Storms a little bit farther. We're going to go to the west a little bit now. Marshall, Pierre, Valentine. This is going to be more of a wind event tonight. Hail is possible here, but I think it's going to be pretty isolated. There's your forecast today. Let's talk about the tropics. Did you guys see this morning that Tropical Storm Erin was now upgraded to Hurricane Erin, the first hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season? Right now, Erin's wind speeds are at about 75 miles an hour, moving to the west-northwest at 18 miles an hour. Now, you're going to see a lot of headlines today that keep saying Erin moved farther to the west. Have you already seen those headlines? Erin moved farther to the west. Well, yeah, it's moving to the west. That's where it's moving. What they're talking about is if this takes more of a northwest turn, what we're going to see is that's going to go away from most of these little islands out here, the Leeward Islands, the Antilles. If that takes more of a westerly turn, it's going to have a potential straight track to some of these islands. So that'll be a really big deal to some of these outer islands here. Is it going to be west or northwest turn? What we do know about this is that this hurricane is going to rapidly intensify from a Category 1 hurricane right now to a Category 2 hurricane by early Saturday morning, Category 3 hurricane by late Saturday night, and we just keep going to a Category 4 hurricane by either late Sunday or early Monday morning. Now, this is why the track is important, is because if we keep going to the west, we get closer and closer and closer to Florida and to the Carolinas. However, if we can take more of a northwest turn here, then we can avoid the U.S. completely. Now, do you remember that high pressure system that I told you about that's bringing all of the heat to the southeast right now? That high pressure system is very important. The stronger that high pressure system, the hotter it could be, but also the more it's going to keep Erin out of the U.S. and it's going to make it more of a fish storm. So you can see that right there. There's Hurricane Erin. It's going to the north of San Juan later on tonight. There's our high pressure system keeping that heat trapped into this area. That's why we've got heat advisories across a good portion of the U.S. today. But again, this high pressure system is going to help to push Erin off to the east, and it's going to help to keep it out of the U.S. So that's really important that Erin turns to the north and doesn't come any closer to the U.S. Just an interesting synoptic look of our tropics. What about Texas? What's happening down in Texas? Well, we've got a low pressure system. It's really, really messy. It's disorganized. It's got a 20% chance to form into anything interesting, but what it's going to bring is a decent amount of rain to southern Texas later on today and tomorrow. There's your forecast. Pretty good. Not great for formation of this low pressure system over here. We don't want shear. So anytime that you see that blue, that means that we've got a lot of disorganization. Moving on here. Oh, there's your spaghetti models. Most of these models are in agreement that Erin's going to turn to the northwest, and then it'll take more of a northerly track as we head into early next week. We're going to be talking about this storm for a while. I hope that you like hearing about Erin, because we're going to be talking about Erin probably all through next week. We'll probably be talking about Erin on at least Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but probably through the end of the week as well. Next is Fernand. We've got another, models are saying that we'll probably get another tropical wave. That'll be the next one that we're talking about as we head into the end of next week. So we've got a lot of activity that it's coming up, climatologically speaking, by the end of August and early September. We're not even to the peak yet. And just a little recap. We gave you a lot of information today. We talked about that slight risk that's covering Minneapolis today. Looking to tomorrow, brand new information. We have a slight risk across South Dakota as well, favoring Rapid City for storms tomorrow. Sunday, another round of storms in the northern plains across South Dakota and into Minneapolis. That's just going to contribute to the flash flood risk. And here's a look at your future radar tomorrow. We'll zoom down into those areas that are expecting to get hit, but you can kind of already see where we're expecting development tomorrow. one more time. And while we're going through this radar, do we have any more questions? Storms in Ohio. I think it's a pretty low chance for storms in Ohio. Let's see. Give me just a minute and I'll go to Ohio. There we go. And while we get this set up, if you guys have any more questions, post them in the comments section. Post your questions to the comments, or post your comments, I guess, in the comments section as well, and we can see them. I can see them on my side, but John is producing today, so he can see them on his side as well, and he can pop them up on the screen. Alrighty, let's get down into Ohio here. There we go. Saturday morning, you're clear. By Saturday afternoon, a few very isolated showers out there. Not too worried about the severe risk in Ohio, but you stay mostly dry for both Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a few isolated showers in the morning, but other than that, you're pretty dry this weekend. Probably pretty hot as well. Let's take a look at temperatures over the next few days. Today, we're warmer across the northern plains, but tomorrow, I think that heat will expand through most of the U.S., especially the Midwest and then down into the Southeast as we head into the end of this weekend. It's hot out there, and it's staying with temperatures above average for several days at least. I think that we could see a pretty nice cold front come through next week through the middle of the week. So we're talking about Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Temperatures will start to cool down a little bit. What about long term here as we head into next week? Yeah, we've got some cooler temperatures trying to move in next week. And what about our rain chances? Things are starting to look different from what we saw earlier this week, right? We would show this map early this week and we saw a lot of dry air out on the west coast. Thankfully, we're starting to see some sort of rain chance move in to at least the Four Corners. That's really, really good. Denver, you've got rain on the docket as well as we head into the end of August. Drier through the Midwest, so we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern change here, which is pretty typical for the end of August. We start to see some of those colder, cool fronts come in. A taste of fall is in the forecast. That'll be really, really nice. Now, it'll be like a taste of fall and then straight back to summer for a few weeks, but that's pretty typical. Alrighty, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. We have a forecast every single weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right around lunchtime, so noon, 12:15-ish. Follow us. In the meantime, we'll be posting all kinds of different things throughout the weekend on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you're interested in a wind, hail, or tornado map, that storm that's coming through, what was that? Oh, I gotta go all the way back up to the graphics from the very beginning of my slides. There we go. We've got Iowa on the dock. Yeah, right there. And we do have a severe thunderstorm watch. I wondered if they were going to issue that. Okay, so this storm that's coming through Storm Lake right now is being mapped by our meteorologist just on the other side of this wall right here. So they're working on their computers very hard to map this storm for you. So if you're interested in that, give us a call. Yes, we do. We have a new severe thunderstorm watch in effect for about 300,000 people, including Ames, Iowa here. That goes until 5 o'clock this evening. Ames, Fort Dodge, Marshalltown, Mason City. What we had for the max hail size, our forecast at Hailtrace, the max for size, hang on one more time. The max hail size for our Hailtrace forecast today was golf balls in this area. So it looks like that's verifying, especially from this storm that's coming out of Storm Lake. We have ping pong ball size hail. Hail not as large as golf balls. That was reported about 30 minutes ago. And then this severe thunderstorm warning is warned for golf balls. And that includes Lake City, Lakeview, Pocahontas, and Sac City, continuing to move to the southeast, most likely to go into Fort Dodge. And that severe thunderstorm warning has just been downgraded to quarter size hail. So we'll probably see this throughout the day. These thunderstorms will probably pulse. They'll probably get stronger and then a bit weaker and then stronger and then a bit weaker. We call these pulsating thunderstorms, and that's probably what we'll see today. Anyway, where were we? Follow us on all of our social media pages. We'll post throughout the weekend. We'll make sure that you're updated on all of the current storms happening, and give us a call for those wind, hail, and tornado maps at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com. Head over to our website for more information. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you back here on Monday.